As we look at Kevin Johnson, now one thing Rick Adelman said they have to do, they have to come out aggressively, defensively, right from the start. They can't wait. They kept reminding him a couple of years ago in Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals when they got down by 22. He said, we can't afford to do that. Here's how both teams got here. The Suns swept the Spurs. Big game for Hornacek and Johnson. And for the Portland Trailblazers, they beat the Lakers 3-1 with Drexler leading the way. It is extremely loud here tonight, and it is also extremely hot in the building.
And you would have to think that the atmosphere here will favor the Phoenix Suns. It's been very warm down in Phoenix. Portland unusually warm for this time of the year.
Dick Bavetta says we're going to jump it up again. Dick Bavetta, Tommy Nunes, and Bernie Fryer, the officials this evening. Phoenix controls.
We'll see right now how they're going to guard Kevin Johnson if Phoenix goes to the pick and roll, which they love to run.
Sabalos active defensively, but Kersey there for the block. The follow won't go, and Williams comes up with a loose ball.
That's the inside game. The nice defensive play by Kersey.
Kersey can't get it. The tip won't go. Third time. We'll try it a fourth. Still won't go. Talk about underneath, a shot blocked by Lang.
Well, that's something that can't continue to happen. Portland getting to the offensive boards.
Perry, the spin move, loses the handle. First turnover of the ball game. And Jeff Hornacek yelling to his teammates, get back, get back. They give Duckworth the 19-footer. He doesn't get it.
And they'll continue to give him that shot. Well, if they could get by letting him shoot that one a lot here tonight, it'd be a whole lot easier. Well,
Jack, we've played a minute, still no score, and we've seen this throughout the playoffs, the emotion the first 5 minutes, and then both teams settle down to some type of execution.
Phoenix has been off for a week, and you can imagine they're going to be a little rusty here.
Well, there's 5 seconds on the shot clock. The Suns have the basketball. Cotton Fitzsimmons said, if you see us being pushed around by the Portland Trailblazers early on, you know it's going to be a long night. Hornacek can't get it to go, and with 10:40 remaining in the first quarter, it is scoreless. Along with Jack Givens, I'm Ron Thulin, Ernie Johnson, and my main man, Kevin Lockery, in the studio back in Atlanta. I don't know if we can top the excitement of Game 1, but I'm sure these two teams will try.
I think once they get it going, you're going to see up and down basketball, racehorse basketball. That's what both teams like to play.
Jerome Kersey, who's averaging just over 11 points in the playoffs, 12 for the regular season, gets on the board. 6-day layoff, as Jack mentioned, for the Phoenix Suns. Gave Tom Chambers a chance to heal up. Dan Marley a chance to heal. The outside shot won't go. Ball belongs to the Suns. And a new 24. So they're really out of sync offensively right now as far as Phoenix.
Cotton said he didn't really know what to expect here. He had been off for a week, would rather have not had it that way, although it did give Tom Chambers a chance to recover just a little bit from an injury. Of course, Dan Marley had a chance to rest a few days also.
The last time Phoenix had that long of a layoff was the All-Star break. Portland came into town immediately following and beat Phoenix, ending their 17-game home streak. Johnson shows a lot of patience.
You see good shots at the basket.
And the second Phoenix turnover. Here comes Porter. So the Suns, who only turned the ball over 15 times a game during the regular season, have 2 already. Perry from the outside.
And Phoenix has missed shots everywhere you can miss them. Some short, some long. But they are getting good shots at the basket. You can expect those to start to go.
Drexler busts through the lane. Jeff Hornacek has had luck on Clyde Drexler. He says he credits that to a lot of his teammates helping surround him.
And if Clyde gets going, you look for Dan Marley to come in. Marley, an excellent defensive player.
Drexler averaging 26 a game during playoffs. Lang, the turnaround won't go down. That'll belong to the Portland Trailblazers. So Phoenix has gone 3 minutes and 4 seconds of this first quarter without a field goal. And what an exciting game we brought you in Game 1 tonight, with the Knicks beating Chicago. And boy, I tell you, the Blazer fans were really into that ball game. We'll tell you more about that as we go on.
A lot of people surprised right now at the outcome of that game. I'm watching Cotton over on the sideline. He doesn't show much concern yet because his team's getting good shots at the basket.
Drexler, the spin move, dishes it off inside to Williams, misses the shot. Duckworth can't get it to go. We're going to have a loose ball foul on 0-0. That'll be Kevin Duckworth, his first team foul.
Well, the offensive rebounds, if I'm Cotton Fitzsimmons, is my major concern so far in this game. Not so much that my team hasn't scored because I'm down only 6-0. I'm really concerned, though, with Portland getting to the boards.
Well, we saw Portland's defensive dominance against the Lakers as the Lakers scored only 33 first-half points in Game 4. To Hornacek, tries to dish it back off. Shot clock at 2. Barry's going to have to throw it up, but barely nicks the rim. And Ceballos tries to get the follow, and he gets the foul instead. So Cotton looks a little frustrated on the offensive end.
Yeah, but I think as long as Phoenix doesn't get overly frustrated on the floor and start throwing up bad shots, I wouldn't be too concerned. You know that these shots are going to start going because they're good looks at the basket.
Well, Kevin Duckworth picks up his second personal foul. That'll bring Cliff Robinson into the ball game. As we look at Cedric Ceballos. 6 for 9 from the line now during the playoffs.
Well, here's a guy that has potential to score a lot of points very quickly. His minutes have increased, his time has increased, or his points has increased.
Well, Cliff Robinson with the red headband. Danny Ainge says if he wears a white one, he'll play defense. If he wears a red one, he won't play defense. So we'll have to see.
I think I'd hide all of those red ones and not let him find them.
Well, still, Phoenix going with an offer. Yet to get a field goal in the ball game. Robinson, big offense for Portland, loses the handle. Here comes Hornacek. He's got Johnson on the left, Lang on the right. Oh, what a pass by Jeff Hornacek. Lang can't complete it. But then Hornacek keeps scrambling. The ball goes out, belongs to Phoenix. What an effort by that young man.
Good job of seeing the floor, understanding that Lang was right behind him. He's out leading the break. Makes a nice decision here to give it up. Clyde got him across the arm, didn't get the call.
Back to live action. 6-2 is our score, 7.5 in the first. Ceballos, the spin move on Kersey, and Cedric Ceballos with the first Phoenix field goal in the ball game.
See, that's why I'm not too concerned. It's a 6-4 game. It's taken us that long to get a field goal to go down, so Cotton has to feel pretty good right now.
Portland was the 4th highest scoring team during the regular season. Phoenix the 2nd. Porter with the 2. Terry Porter, who in the month of April was very, very hot, continues that trend as Kevin Johnson takes his time and pops the outside shot.
Kevin can frustrate you. Of course, you have to respect his quickness, back off of him, and if that shot is going from the outside, he's going to be very tough tonight.
Drexler inside, gets his own rebound and the foul. We've got a timeout. 6:40 left to be played in the first. The Blazers in a low-scoring game so far. Lead by 2. Blazers lead the Suns by 2. 6:40 remaining to be played in the first quarter. Everybody in the building had their eyes on the Diamond Vision scoreboard as the Knicks upset the Bulls in Game 1 in Chicago, and this is the reaction.
Of course, everyone in this building thinks that Portland will be in the finals. And they expect to be playing Chicago. So if the Knicks could upset Chicago, win this series, I'm sure they would feel it'd be a little bit easier for Portland to finally get over the hump and bring home the big prize.
Cotton Fitzsimmons in his final year will take over or continue as player personnel director for the Suns. And Rick Adelman in his 2nd year of a 3-year contract took over back on February 18th, 1989. And is under much criticism, believe it or not, here in Portland. New York beating Chicago. Talk shows, or people here expect an awful lot from this ball club. They are expecting everything this year.
I like what Rick said when you told him about hearing the talk show last night. He said, see, that's your main problem right there, listening to those talk shows.
Listen to those talk shows, I'm telling you.
Phoenix has made only 2 of 11 field goal attempts. Portland, though, not much better, only 4 of 13, so neither team burning it up here early.
4 times in his career, Clyde Drexler has had a shot at a championship, 2 at the University of Houston and a couple here at Portland. And he really wants wants that ring to cap off an excellent career. And that career hopefully will put a spot on the Olympic team this year. Johnson inside with the penetration, doesn't get it to go. The follow, it does.
Phoenix getting some offensive board work of their own.
Cotton Fitzsimmons and Paul Westphal challenged Ceballos, Perry, and Lang earlier today. Drexler uses the left hand to keep Perry away. Drexler now with 6 in the ball game.
He's using the screen away from the ball. Hornacek is going to have to get some help.
Perry gets Robinson up in the air, tries to dish it off. There's Johnson. Turnover again. 2 of them. Not over and back. Fans wanted it. Good call by Bernie Fryer. And the outside shot goes down by Tim Perry, his first 2 of the ball game.
It's obvious Portland wants to give Perry and Lang as many shots from the outside as they possibly can. They're backing totally away from it.
2-point ball game. Porter drives the lane, throws it up. There's a whistle. That's Lang's first personal foul. Second team foul.
Shooting for Portland, Terry Porter.
And at the line, it'll be Terry Porter. Terry Porter out of Wisconsin Stevens Point. His coach was Dick Bennett, whose son Tony Bennett probably will be entering the NBA draft this year out of Wisconsin Green Bay.
Porter, a pretty good golfer also. About a 7-8 handicap, he tells me, which means he's probably about a 3 or 4.
See, that's like Kevin Lockery tells you he's 15. Yeah. He's about a 2, okay? You don't bring your wallet when you play with the guy. Second shot by Porter, finds the net. So Kevin Porter now with 6 points, and it's a 4-point Blazer lead inside of 5.5 minutes from the Coliseum in Portland. Hornacek gets a piece of it. Drexler dishes off inside. Cedric Ceballos finding his way in the crowd right now, Jack.
Well, a great second effort that time by Hornacek once again. Drexler with the nice block and then the look down low for the bucket.
Terry Porter for 3.
He has been lighting it up from behind the 3-point line in the playoffs so far.
64% from 3-point land during the playoffs. Inside, West, who is checked in for Andrew Lang, who has 2 personal fouls.
West is going to have to use his body. He did a good job of posting up, holding off Buck Williams that time.
3-point Blazer lead. Porter the pull-up over KJ, doesn't get it to go. West tipped it, lost it, then he tips it over to Ceballos, who stepped out of bounds. And Dick Bavetta telling Danny Ainge to quiet down. Tomorrow night at 9 o'clock Eastern time. This is going to be a great series. The Seattle Supersonics against the Utah Jazz. Jim Durham, Dick Versace will be there for all the action. And Danny Ainge threw a towel on the ground right in front of Dick Bavetta. And Dick said, Danny, we don't do that here.
You're right about that series, though, with the Jazz and the Sonics. The Sonics playing very well. They just played tremendously well against Golden State to put them out in 4.
Everybody knows Williams will go to his right on that drive. He's still able to get the shot off. Porter for 3. He's 2 for 2.
9 of 14 coming into this game from behind the 3-point line.
Johnson on the penetration to Ceballos. The shot won't go. But there's the penetration again, which causes a lot of things to happen offensively for Phoenix and defensive breakdowns for Portland.
And I think if you keep seeing that, you'll start to see Portland run some double teams at KJ. The only guy they will not double team Kevin Johnson with is the guy that is guarding Hornacek. Of course, he's on the bench right now.
Ceballos was 74% free throw shooter on the year. During the playoffs, he was 5 of 8 coming into tonight. The numbers on Ceballos. Doesn't get either one of them. Porter sees an opening, takes it strong to the hole with the left hand. 14 points for Terry Porter in the first quarter. We still have 3:55 left to be played.
It has been Porter's game offensively so far.
Big rebound by Kersey, the outlet to Porter. Phoenix has to get back defensively. Robinson has it blocked by Marley, who's checked into the ball game, and we've got a foul.
Well, they got bumped. as he took the ball up. But Kevin Porter, boy, he has been very aggressive on the offensive end. You see him right here somehow get that shot off. Oh, that's a tough one. All out going to the basket.
That's Marley's first personal foul. As we look at the numbers on Porter, Danny Ainge has checked into the Blazer lineup. Robert Pack will also come in, or Enos Watley will come in for Portland.
They're going to bring Watley in, and I think you'll see Pack come in also to try to slow down Kevin Johnson. If you see KJ penetrating, getting to the basket, Porter will get a breather.
Porter gets ahead, a standing ovation.
Rick Adelman is going to have to seriously choose his moments to rest Porter and Drexler in this game. They will need some minutes.
Phoenix wants a timeout. 3:36 left to be played in the first. The Blazers have opened up a 9-point lead. We're at Memorial Coliseum in Portland, Oregon. We have played just under 9 minutes in quarter number 1 with the Suns and the Blazers in game 1 of the Western Conference semifinals. And right now, the Blazers put together a 9-2 run, and they lead it 23-14. How about home court advantage? The Blazers right up in there with the Lakers and the Celtics.
And you can expect that when you look around this building, and when you listen, you hear the excitement of the crowd. The players play right off of that.
From high above the Coliseum.
West will get the step going to the baseline. As I mentioned, he caught it in the paint, and that's where the problem started. Phoenix still having a hard time finding the basket. Only 6 of 18. Portland has upped their percentage to 40%.
We talked about how Phoenix hit 51% during the regular season with Kevin Johnson leading the way at 59% and 25 points a game. And that is Johnson's second field goal of all game. And the big news is Jeff Hornacek has been shut down so far. But now Danny Ainge is guarding him.
I mentioned Watley came into the game to keep Kevin Johnson from getting there, and Johnson takes it right to him the first time he holds the ball.
Hornacek had Marley streaking down the left. KJ dishes off inside. The jam won't go, but we have the foul as Perry went up strong, couldn't finish.
And it comes right off of the penetration once again. Kevin Johnson gets into the paint. You can't let him get this close. This is what's going to happen. Shot opportunities going to the basket.
That foul was on Robinson, his first personal. And at the line, it'll be Tim Perry. Here is a young man that has really blossomed this year. Personal highs in all numbers.
I think the biggest improvement, although all of his numbers have improved, he has increased his playing time from right around 13 minutes last year to 31 minutes per game this year. And of course, you get that kind of time, you can expect all your numbers to increase, and they did for Tim Perry.
It's amazing how when you get more minutes, you get bigger numbers. It works out. Fourth-year pro out of Temple. Down low to Drexler. Marley on him. Inside of Robinson. Went for the slam. Decided to try to just lay it up. And Mark West gets a hand on him early. And West picks up his first personal foul. Now we saw Dan Marley on Clyde Drexler. That was a matchup that Cotton Fitzsimmons, or that Rick Adelman was not really pleased about, because he was afraid that maybe Clyde may get in foul trouble if either Marley or Perry is on him on the defensive end.
He's now moved down to the small forward position. And that, of course, means he will have to guard players that catch the ball closer to the basket, guys that play with their backs to the basket, and he was concerned, especially here in the first period, if he had to play Clyde at the small forward position.
Robinson gets the second. Robinson with 2 points, and the lead is down to 6.
Better job that time by Ian Walker.
Here comes Ainge. Had an excellent game 4 against the Lakers. Drexler, the quick pull-up, and he buries it.
Give him the ball in the open floor. Even though Marley is a tremendous defensive player, he's not going to be able to stop Drexler when he has his momentum.
Johnson, the spin move, the penetration, doesn't get it. West is hammered. Johnson down on the floor.
Now here's Clyde. He's got a head of steam going. Marley trying to nurse the injuries, trying to get back healthy. Just does not right now have the quickness to step over and cut him off.
At the line, it'll be Mark West. Drexler picks up his second personal. West, the 9th-year pro out of Old Dominion. Line drives that one, won't go. Only 64% on the year. But he was 3 of 3 in the playoffs.
He's shooting 63% from the field here from the field in this series. So he's almost shooting better from the field than from the free throw line.
The lead is 7. 2:15 left to be played in the first quarter. Drexler likes to have quick hitting shots once he gets the ball. Robinson back to Drexler. Shot clock at 9.
The way to stop Clyde is to force him into the half-court offense.
Perry's going to have to take it himself. Gets it down to Kevin Johnson. Looks at Marley. Takes it strong himself. And Watley with the foul. He had Marley on the left. KJ decided to take it all the way. And Watley picks up his first personal.
Phoenix had 2-on-1 that time. So Watley had to back off. He thought Kevin Johnson would give the ball up. He did not that time. And he drew the foul.
It's been an interesting year for this young man. Struggled at the beginning part of the season. Cotton Fitzsimmons finally told him, hey, listen, look to score first, then worry about making plays. He wanted to make sure everybody touched the ball in the Phoenix offense.
The thing, though, that he is most proud of this season is the fact that he finally got his academic center opened up in Sacramento. He's doing a lot for the youth of that community where he's from.
St. Hope Academy opened up on Martin Luther King Day this year. 5-point Blazer lead inside of 2 minutes. Ainge trying to spin on Hornacek. Hornacek putting the belly on him. Opens up Watley. Watley, who's played in 3 of the 4 games against the Lakers, gets his first 2. That'll be an offensive foul as Jeff Hornacek had to use the forearm on Buck Williams.
Now you'll see him run the double team at Hornacek every time he tries to use the pick and roll. Now watch, here comes Westover. Buck does a good job, Buck Williams, of stepping out, cutting him off. And they're going to try to take away his shots coming off that screen.
Drexler, Marley on him, the little lob into Robinson. Shot clock at 8. Williams sneaks around West. Can't get it. Perry with the rebound. The outlet to Hornacek. 3 on 4.
West fell asleep that time. He was very fortunate.
Fans wanted to walk. West gets away from Drexler and he completes the slam. Mark West, who shot 63% on the year, shows why he shot 63% on the year.
Gets those shots just like he did that time.
Good defense by Phoenix. Last touch by the Suns. Blazers will have it. 14 on the shot clock. 49 on the game clock. Lowell Cotton Fitzsimmons.
Watley has done a good job of his own getting into the paint, getting to the basket, creating some shots for his teammates.
That's what Rick Adelman said. He goes, I'd like to get Watley a couple of minutes, pack a few minutes just to give Terry Porter a breather. Hornacek on the run. The Suns trail it by 5. Marley from way outside. Nothing but air.
Missed that one badly.
Ainge for 3. Doesn't get it. Now there's a 2-second difference between the shot and the game clock. A 5-point Blazer lead.
Ainge wants more minutes. He's going to have to make that outside shot, though. If he does not, Rick Adelman just can't play him.
Marley for 3, this time a little bit off.
We'll get closer though.
Still a lot of time. Ainge forces it up with 2 seconds off the glass. Williams the follow, and it doesn't go. 12 minutes, not exactly a well-played 12, but it is exciting. Blazers lead it by 5. Quarter number 2 still to come. Portland area today, over 85 degrees, and it is that hot inside tonight as we go to quarter number 2 with the Blazers leading by 5. It's a good news, bad news situation for Phoenix. The bad news is you let Terry Porter get 14 in the first quarter. The bad news is Jeff Hornacek didn't score. The good news is you're still in the ballgame.
And I think they have to be happy about that, especially when you consider that they shot the ball very poorly in the first half of play. They've allowed Portland to get up and down the floor as Portland likes to do. It hasn't been a real well-played game to this point. But Portland has been able to control the tempo, and they have been able to do pretty much what they wanted to do.
There we see the starting guards, only 6 points for Phoenix. All of those coming from Kevin Johnson. Portland with 22, 14 with Porter, 8 for Clyde Drexler. Tom Chambers in the ball game to start the second half. He did not play in Game 2 of the San Antonio series, which surprised a lot of people. We asked how he's been handling his somewhat of a demotion. They said, well, you know, the third game against San Antonio, he played well, got some shots to go down, and hopefully that will build his confidence.
Now, Cotton knows he's going to need him in this series. He's going to get a lot of minutes.
Kevin Duckworth playing with 2 personal fouls, gets his first field goal of the ball game. Phoenix going with Chambers, Hornacek, West, Johnson, and Marley. Whistle and a foul. Portland counters with Duckworth, Ainge, Watley, Porter, and Robinson.
Well, it is a handful trying to keep Kevin Johnson from penetrating to the basket.
That is Watley's second personal. Porter taking a little breathing time. Kevin just flat out lost the handle. Here comes Porter. Excellent passing to Danny Ainge for the easy 2.
And that's a very unselfish play by Porter, considering he's having such a good game to this point.
Steve Burt up off Phoenix's bench. He'll check into the lineup. Now Watley drapes his body across Johnson, who heads left. Marley given the open J. He takes it and doesn't get it.
His shot still doesn't look real good yet.
In practice, a lot of people around Phoenix were telling us that his shot was flat when he came back from that strained knee. Duckworth rather would face the basket than back into it. Ainge stops, pops, bingo.
Well, that's the shot he must make. If he's going to get some minutes, he's going to have to make that shot.
Rick Adelman had a funny comment. We said, hey, Danny Ainge played very well against the Lakers in Game 4, made a lot of shots, and he said, well, geez, he goes, you know, I saw his comment in the paper that he wanted more minutes. He goes, he keeps making those shots, so give him more minutes.
That's right. Ainge had 19 points and 5 assists in Game 4.
Biggest lead of the ball game. Mark West continues his offensive onslaught. 6 points for West, 7 points for the ball game, 6 from the floor.
And that's about as far out as you'll see him take a shot.
Robinson, the strong move. West puts a body on him. No basket. It'll be an offensive foul. Good defense by Mark West.
Yeah, Robinson's not going to like to call. Rick Adelman's not going to like to call, but I think you'll see Robinson right here take the ball to the basket. West, he's definitely there.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely there.
Good call by Dick Bavetta underneath. 9-point lead inside of 10 minutes from Portland. Jerome Kersey jumps off the bench for the Blazers. Steve Burt has checked into Phoenix's lineup, and Dan Marley finally gets in the books. His first 2 of the ball game. Only played in 2 of the games against San Antonio. The first 2, and in game number 2, he went out early. Robinson around Chambers, but Chambers gets a little help defensively for West. Here comes Hornacek to Marley. Thundering Dan with the left hand.
That's where Dan Marley is really effective. He finally got one shot to go from the outside. You now have to come out there and play him, and you'll see him continue to try to get to the basket now.
Phoenix a little more active defensively.
They really are.
Robinson had position on Chambers. Out the basket and the foul.
Chambers has that left wrist heavily bandaged, and his real problem is not shooting the ball because it is on his left hand. The problem he's having is catching the basketball, especially in traffic.
Robinson able to complete the three-point play, so Robinson 3 of 5 from the line. He has 5 points, and the lead is back up to 8. In case you just joined us, an exciting game 1. That score is correct. The Knicks upset Chicago by 5. Chambers from outside, and Tom Chambers, who has struggled all season, and that is a good sign for Cotton Fitzsimmons.
Played a season low as far as games are concerned. He was forced to miss a lot of games with injuries, and there's an offensive foul again.
That'll be on Terry Porter, his first personal.
Chambers played just 69 games this season, the lowest number of games he's played since the 85-86 season. A lot of nagging injuries, nothing real serious.
His numbers were low across the board. Chambers in the corner, doesn't get it, but Marley battles for the rebound. Hornacek outside, sizes
they've got
up.
to get a shot for him, yes. They've got to get a shot or 2 for Hornacek.
Well, that's his first field goal, Jack. Took him a quarter plus 4 minutes of this one. Duckworth backs his way in, uses his muscle, doesn't get it. The follow won't go, but we have a whistle.
Well, I mentioned Duckworth is going to be the guy that has to be big down low for Portland. He has to make his body felt down there on both ends of the floor. Good offensive board work by Kevin this time.
West picks up the foul. That is his second personal foul, and at the line it will be Kevin Duckworth. At the conclusion of tonight's game, Jack and I will be selecting the Budweiser Player of the Game. Duckworth only 69% during the regular season from the line. Last year, took a couple of months off after the loss to the Lakers in the finals. Took it very personally, and he was just torn apart here in the papers and among the media in Portland.
He's the only guy that the fans can get on more than Rick Adams.
Mark West now has 9 points for the ball game.
Well, Cotton, I know he's pleasantly surprised with that effort by West to this point. He's averaging only 3 points a game in the playoffs.
Kersey had it into the hands of Steve Burt. Burt, who started the year in Oklahoma City of the CBA. Marley can't complete the pass to Hornacek. That is the 8th turnover for Phoenix. Halfway to their game total already. Ainge directing traffic. Porter, 14 first quarter points, yet to score in the second.
Phoenix has done an excellent job here in this period of forcing Portland into a half-court game.
Burt takes a hard dive to the floor. Hornacek tries to grab Porter, who runs right by him to Robinson.
Yeah. Now, see, that's the first time they've been able to get out in the open floor here in the second period. Obviously, that's the way Portland wants to play.
And they lead it by 6 inside of 7 minutes. Chambers a little pick and roll. He's got it.
They're going to allow him to stand and shoot that jump shot. He's going to have a lot of success here in this game. You must make him put the ball on the floor.
Cotton was quoted in the paper that as Porter does not get the 3 to go, we have a whistle, loose ball foul. That'll be against Portland. But Cotton Fitzsimmons says we're not going to run a whole lot of pick and roll, but he did there. 6:41 left to be played in the half, and the Blazers lead it by 4.
Now this is Blazer basketball right here. Phoenix has done a great job here in the second period for the most part, keeping Portland out of their fast break offense. But here they are. They get the opportunity because they get the rebound and push it down the floor. Robinson following up the play and gets the dunk.
Well, Jack, we talked about how bad Phoenix shot in that first quarter of play. They are 7 of 10 in quarter number 2, so their overall percentage is up to 44%. Cliff Robinson has to sit down with 3 personal fouls, and that will bring Buck Williams back in the lineup.
Well, the pace of this game is definitely right now to the liking of Phoenix. They are a team because of Kevin Johnson's ability to penetrate breakdown defenses. They are a team that can play a half-court game. Portland, not a good outside shooting team, will struggle if they're forced to play half-court.
4-point game. Burt takes it into the paint. To Marley, uses all muscle, and he gets the roll.
He just used his shoulder to clear Drexler out that time.
2-point lead for the Blazers. 6:15 left to be played in the half. Drexler takes it inside, goes to the floor, but pretty much unmolested, Jack.
They're going to have to continue to clear it out. Marley taking it upon himself, a personal challenge to stop Drexler from scoring in this game.
Now Kersey goes on Marley. Williams takes Chambers.
Well, now there he is. He puts the ball on the floor. Williams came out and played him. Tom doing a good job offensively so far.
At one point in his career, Hubie Brown called him the toughest cover in the NBA, and rightly so.
Well, because of his size, he's 6'10", and he shoots the ball so well from the outside, and he can put the ball on the floor. It's a tough matchup at that position.
The foul was on Burt, his first personal. 5:47 left in the half. Blazers lead it by 2. They led by 5 at the end of 1. Williams, they're going to give him that shot, and the NBA's #1 field goal percentage leader can't get it to go, and into the crowd goes Jerome Kersey.
Well, just as Portland wants Lang and West to stand and shoot the jump shot from the outside, Phoenix would like to see Buck Williams shoot that shot from out.
Chambers rolls over to the baseline, doesn't get it. Marley just pushes Kersey out of the way, but Kersey says, I'm going to reject it because of that. Here comes Porter to Drexler, to the hole, doesn't get it. Chambers the outlet to Bird. Duckworth coming hard, but he can't catch it.
Good decision by Duckworth to just let him go. Kevin Duckworth has 2 personal fouls already. Robinson has 3, so they're going to need him in there and need him to stay out of foul trouble.
Our first tie of the ball game, 43 apiece inside of 5 minutes. Drexler tracks down the loose ball. Shot clock at 10. He lets the 3 fly, doesn't get it. Duckworth the return.
That's all he has to do. He just has to continue to follow up shots. He's going to get a lot of putback opportunities.
Only 2 teams have taken more threes than Portland. Marley's 3 won't go down. Chambers had a piece of it, can't come up with it. Drexler, the lob inside. Kicked out with 16 on the shot clock. The Blazers have control. Ceballos comes back into the lineup. Marley's going to take a breather. Here comes Kevin Johnson, and Steve Bird, who played a couple of pretty good minutes, comes out. Now, how long does Cotton Fitzsimmons run Mark West? Andrew Lang has had a seat on the end of the bench for a long time, as has Tim Perry.
Well, you have West scoring as well as he is. He's rebounding. He's doing a good job. You have to leave him on the floor. I think you leave him in there for the rest of his time if he continues to stay active as he is right now.
Loose ball foul was called on Clyde Drexler. That is his 3rd personal foul. So Drexler with 3, Robinson with 3, Duckworth with 2. Portland has to be careful in the final 4:19.
Rick Adelman's going to have to get him out of there. He's not made a move to the bench yet.
Hornacek right around Drexler, dishes off inside, and Mark West with one of those high percentage jams. 11 for West.
Yeah,
16 was his season high this year.
That's just what I'm talking about right there. West making himself a presence down low. You leave him in there on the floor as much as you can when you get this bonus.
Porter right around Hornacek. Nobody rotates on defense. And Porter now with 16 points for the ball game. We wondered which Andrew Lang and Tim Perry would show up in this game. Another penetration, another easy 2 for West. Just what Rick Adelman feared is the penetration.
And it's not only Kevin Johnson that's penetrating, getting to the paint area. Now you'll see Porter right here get right to the basket. No weak side help that time. But everyone for Phoenix that has played the point guard position has been able to penetrate and get easy shots for West and the rest of the people on the inside for Phoenix.
And at the line, it will be Mark West. 2nd round pick back in 1983 by Dallas. This is his 4th team he's played for. Can't complete the 3-point play, but we're tied up at 47, our 2nd tie of the ball game. Porter just flat out lost it. We talked about how hot it is here. It is extremely warm in the building. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot of wet spots on the floor with players falling around in a lot of the sweat, because I can imagine how hot it is for them.
He fell down right about the same spot Drexler just went down, so you might be right.
Well, they cleaned that off. Shot clock at 10. Johnson sizing up Drexler. Hornacek left open, spotting up for the 3, but instead takes it inside. The penetration, Ceballos had it. Duckworth knocks it out. Shot clock at 4.
As I mentioned, in an attempt to keep Kevin Johnson from penetrating, the double team came very quickly that time. Hornacek passing up a lot of shots, though.
Another turnover. Here comes Drexler. Get that video camera going. And he gets it to go. The 9th turnover by Phoenix allows Portland to go up by 2, and Cotton Fitzsimmons wants a timeout. 2:55 in the half. It's a 2-point ball game in Portland. Coming up at halftime, Ernie Johnson in our Atlanta studios, along with Miami Heat head coach Kevin Lockery. They'll take a look at the New York-Chicago game, show highlights of that. Plus, we'll take a look at tomorrow night's opening game between Seattle and Utah. That's all coming up on our Prudential Halftime Report with Ernie Johnson. We are at the Memorial Coliseum in Portland, where the Blazers have led by as many as 11. We've had 3 ties. Phoenix has never led in the ball game. And right now, with 2:55 left to be played, the Blazers up by 2.
What a change, though, in this Phoenix team from the first period when they shot 33% from the field. They're shooting 67% here in the 2nd period. 12 of 18 field goals. They're rebounding better. Portland leading by just 1 rebound here in the second period, 7-6.
Along with Jack Gibbons, I'm Ron Thulin. Glad to be with us this evening. Game 2 of our doubleheader here on TNT. We're keeping an eye on that guard comparison because that is what Rick Adelman said would be the barometer for a victory by Portland. And right now, Portland all over Phoenix 30-8. As Phoenix not really getting the shots, Jack, only 3 of 10.
Jeff Martin said it really hasn't had many shots at the basket so far, and I think Phoenix will have to try to find a way to get him more shots.
Kersey on him. Phoenix loses the ball. Portland has it. Drexler, and he's just going to have to be grabbed by Kevin Johnson, who said, I had all ball. And that is the 10th turnover for the Phoenix Suns.
Sure looked like Kevin Johnson made a good defensive play there. He guessed right that time as Drexler faked to the middle, then decided to go around the baseline. KJ was right there.
And they're saying Clyde was not in the act of shooting.
Because it was that close to being a good defensive play.
Drexler backing in on West. The turnaround left-handed hook goes down. So Duckworth now with 8 for the ball game. The lead is 4.
They can get him all the shots he wants as long as he continues to post strongly down on the low post.
These two teams have met in 14 playoff games, and they are 7-7. Hornacek with 7 on the shot clock. Kevin Johnson a little bit out of his range, but he buries it. So Johnson, who shot only 22% from three-point land during the regular season, cuts the lead to 1, but Drexler answers.
Well, West went after that shot. West did, but Drexler just changed it up as much as he had to get it off.
Marley wants to come in for Phoenix. Danny Ainge for Portland. Johnson on Drexler. To Chambers. Takes 1 dribble. The off-balance shot won't go. Chambers tries to force it up. Hits the side. The return.
Well, that's what you need from Tom Chambers right there, and Cotton giving him the go-ahead right there on that play. Good second and third effort.
Hard work by Chambers, who checks in now with 8 points for the ball game. 1-point Blazer lead inside of a minute and a half. Duckworth, the basket, and the whistle.
All night long. Phoenix has no one with the size and the strength to keep him away from the basket. Duckworth didn't want to take this one, but he understood he had Cedric Ceballos on him, so why not?
And that'll be Ceballos' first personal foul. Duckworth will go to the line, try to complete the 3-point play. 2 of 2 so far tonight. He has 10 points for the ball game to go along with 4 boards. So Kevin Duckworth, who came over here from San Antonio in a trade back in December of '86 for Walter Berry, now with 11 points. Johnson the dish to West, 11th turnover for Phoenix. 3-on-3 to Kersey, to the hole, doesn't get it. And now Phoenix with the numbers. 3-on-1 to Chambers. He waits, goes up, does draw the foul, but he doesn't get the basket. But still, Jack, it was a 3-on-1 by Phoenix, and they weren't able to convert it.
Portland missed the easy opportunities, and as is normally the case with good teams, you give them a chance and they're going to take advantage of it. Phoenix, they'll turn the ball over much more than they have in this playoff series. Coming into this series, they were after the last series with San Antonio, they averaged only 13 turnovers per game.
Tom Chambers calmly steps up, drops it down. The numbers on Tom Chambers, a 5-year scoring low and his worst field goal percentage of his career. He set club scoring records his first 2 years at Phoenix, so you can imagine how frustrating these last couple of years have been for him.
He has handled the fact that he has been relegated to a bench player and a lot of times not playing the quality minutes. He didn't like that, but Cotton told him that's his role. We have some young players that are playing well, and Tom Chambers just trying to take advantage of the minutes he gets. Inside of a minute.
Duckworth, the push shot, nothing but air. Chambers with the rebound. He wants a little bit of help. 16-second difference between shot and the game. If Phoenix hurries, they'll get the 2 for 1. Great job defensively by Ainge. Marley can't get it to go. Here comes Porter. Taps it to Kersey. Oh, he doesn't get it, but we have a foul. Good hustle by Mark West. getting back defensively for Phoenix.
He did do a great job. West under the basket when that turnover took place, but you'll see the effort. And I think KJ right here slowed the breakdown just enough to give West a chance to get back.
Walks right underneath him, and that'll send Kersey to the line for a pair. West, his third personal foul.
I think Cotton will have to get him out of there. You don't want to take a chance of allowing him to pick up foul number 4, particularly since he's having the kind of game he's having to this point.
Well, Jerome Kersey, one of the many players on Portland to come from a small college. He's out of Longwood College, Virginia. And he had Wisconsin Stevens Point, Eastern Illinois on that. They go for the athletes that kind of off to the side. Duckworth sits down.
Tell you what, you have to give Portland's front office people, their scouts, a lot of credit for going out, seeing these guys play, understanding that even though they are playing at small colleges, they do have the talent, and they've made some good picks, and these guys have proven them right.
Kersey gets them both. Phoenix should have the last shot. They trail it by 4. They've trailed by as many as 11 in this game, a game in which they have never tasted the lead.
Watch the double team come here. Try to take the ball out of the hands of Kevin Johnson.
Back came over for the double team. Marley splits it. The right-handed shot goes down with 6 seconds left in the half. Here comes Age. Johnson steals it with 1 second. He's going to get it up before the buzzer. It doesn't go.
At the end of the first half, the score of the
Phoenix has dodged the bullet the whole half. They find themselves trailing by 2. We still have the second half to come. Stay with us. Ernie Johnson and Kevin Lockery with the Prudential Halftime Report coming up in a moment.
Report playoff edition. Miami Heat head coach Kevin Lockery joins me here in the studio. We'll take a look back at that stunner in the first game of the Eastern Conference semis as the Knicks beat the Bulls in Chicago. And we'll look ahead to game 1 of the Sonics Jazz series tomorrow night on TNT. It's all ahead. Played 24 minutes at Memorial Coliseum in Portland. There you see it, the Blazers leading Phoenix by a deuce in game 1 of their Western Conference semifinal. Ernie Johnson in our Atlanta studio with the Prudential Halftime Report. Miami Heat head coach Kevin Lockery is here. Phoenix has to feel pretty good. The backcourt is not really lighting it up. They've turned the ball over a lot, but only down by 2.
You're on the road. Your backcourt has a total of 11. Your 2 best players. You're getting outscored 30-11 in the backcourt. You have 11 turnovers, and you're still in the game on the road. They have to be delighted.
Delighted, also a good word to describe the New York Knicks tonight because they went to Chicago Stadium. They'd lost 14 straight games, and they beat the Bulls in their place. Your thoughts on that one, Kevin?
Patrick Ewing had a perfect game. It's very rare that a player comes up big in every statistic. He won the battle over Michael, which is very rare also in this league, and he had a perfect game. The domination of the middle by the Knicks was the total difference in the game.
Let's take a look at some of the highlights. That was game 1 of our doubleheader, the Knicks and the Bulls at Chicago Stadium. Physical very early, a message sent by the Knicks, Kevin.
They said it was the first play of the game, the first time Chicago drove to the hoop. Oakley laid them out.
Flagrant foul, but the message sent. Now, look at the good defense. Greg Anthony, the steal, launches that three-pointer, and it goes. Part of an 11-0 New York run. Phil Jackson, yeah, you can see why he's got that look on his face. But here's where Michael Jordan really catches fire. He had 31 points on the night. This is usually where he'll take control of a game and Chicago will pull away. But not tonight because Patrick Ewing matched Jordan bucket for bucket. And look at this huge one with the shot clock winding down. He drains the long jumper. And this is the play that iced it. Into the paint, Ewing off balance, and it goes. And Pat Riley's guys have got game 1 at Chicago Stadium. The final score 94-89. The Knicks take a 1-0 lead over the Chicago Bulls. Chicago, after a sweep of Miami, well rested, but maybe too well rested.
I think our just a little bit of our layoff, that's the longest layoff we've had of the year, gave us a poor first half, gave them hope, and they came out and were able to sustain their effort through 3 quarters. Our fourth quarter run was very good. The lead was there. But they came through at the end of the game. They really executed well, and they got Patrick shooting some great shots at the end of the game.
Well, I think it's important for our players to understand that there's going to be peaks and valleys in the game. And against Chicago, you know, an 11-point lead with Michael and Scotty is not going to mean anything. But just to weather the storm and gather yourself, you know, Patrick having the kind of half that he had for us, if we could just execute and get him the ball where he wanted it, and I felt we could get a shot.
It was very fulfilling. You know, when we came in, a lot of people doubted us. They felt that we were going to get swept like we did last year. but I thought that my teammates and myself showed a lot of character, a lot of pride. We fought hard, and we got the victory. We got this one. We have hopefully 3 more to go.
Yeah, what a tremendous night for Patrick Ewing. Now, if you're Phil Jackson, how do the Bulls regroup? What do they do in Game 2?
They have to be concerned because now the pressure comes back on them for the first time, and it's not going to be as easy to repeat as it was last year. And the Knicks are a very physical basketball team.
Really unfamiliar territory for the Bulls as they lose Game 1. Now, tomorrow night here on TNT, it's Game 1 of Seattle and Utah. The coach and I will be back to take a look at that series when we come back. In Portland, the Blazers with a 58-56 lead over the Phoenix Suns as they open up their Western Conference semifinal series. As the Prudential halftime report continues, Ernie Johnson and Miami Heat head coach Kevin Lockery back here in Atlanta. Tomorrow night, Seattle and Utah tip it off, Game 1 of that Western Conference semifinal. Looking for a good one there, Coach.
That'll be a good series. Utah's coming off a tough time against the Clippers. Another rested team in Seattle. Didn't help Chicago to be rested, so I think it'll be an excellent series.
That's the coach's viewpoint on this thing. Now let's listen to the players involved. Let's start with Jeff Malone, whose 25 points last night got Utah into the semis.
No question about it. It was a tough series, and we knew it was going to be that way. A lot of people, didn't talk highly about the Clippers, but down the stretch they played well, and it's going to be tough against Seattle. Like you say, I'm sure they're very confident right now because they beat us twice in here, but we're looking forward to playing those guys again. It's been a great series.
It's the perfect mix. I really compare it to the team that I was on in Phoenix. We had the older guys and the young guys, and the young guys were more your energetic players, the high jumpers, the runners, the guys that get in there and play good D. I mean, we have it all. 1 through 12. Everybody on our roster are legitimate NBA players and can be playing good minutes on other teams.
Seattle is a very athletic, very physical team, and I think a little versatility out there wouldn't hurt us. So it remains to be seen. I know that it's tough to take a Karl Malone out of the game anytime, but when you can get a good spell in there from David Benoit, then I think you have to do it.
I think potentially we are a teams that are going to stop one another, but we're always going to have somewhere else to go. And so I think it has the capability of being an excellent series.
Kevin, there is a real confidence exuding from that Seattle ball club. They have really played well, and one of the reasons I think Sean Kemp, and this is a breakthrough series for him.
He's a young rising star in the NBA. He's a great talent. He's got unbelievable jumping ability, athleticism. This play here shows his double team Pierce in the corner. Watch Sean Kemp put this one away. Down the middle, get out of the way. Here he comes.
Lister didn't hear you, Coach.
He didn't hear me. He got buried and he paid for it. That's getting paid. That's taking the charge, full charge.
Now, when you talk about the Utah Jazz, you're talking about John Stockton, who can really dish. Karl Malone can really score, and Jeff Malone can do it too.
That's their offensive power. The two Malones and Stockton. We'll see an awful lot of post up by Karl Malone, but here's the pick and roll. Run perfectly. Stockton. Well, this is Delaney Rudd, excuse me.
And he can come off the bench and spell John Stockton.
And he also can hit three-point shots, Delaney Rudd, like he did the other night.
It's a pick and roll no matter who's picking and who's rolling. Okay. That's Game 1 of that series coming your way tomorrow night here on TNT. We'll have it in a 9 o'clock start Eastern Time, Seattle and Utah. And when this night is through after Game 2, we've got Inside the NBA, Fred Hickman, joined by Doc Rivers. They'll have the story on Chuck Daly, who made it official today, stepping down in Detroit.
Moments away from the second half action as the Portland Trail Blazers lead the Phoenix Suns by 2, along with Jack Gibbons, Amron Thulin, and Jack. First of all, for the Phoenix Suns, Jeff Hornacek did not have a good half, but their bench scoring really made up for the deficiency at the guard position.
Yeah, I think Cotton must be really, really pleased with the fact that his team didn't play real well, and they're still very much in this ball game. You talk about the difference from the first period to the second. Phoenix struggled. Both teams actually struggled from the field, and the percentages for both clubs picked up a lot. The bench scoring 33 points off the bench. A real pleasant surprise from West and from Tom Chambers. Hornacek will get to the paint area right here, as has been the case a lot for the Phoenix Suns. The penetration has been just tremendous, and West has been the guy that has gotten a lot of points. Marley also here, this is late in the second period, was able to put the ball on the floor, get a little bit closer, and get one to go down.
We talk about the guard situation. This is what Rick Adelman wanted to do, is control the guards, and they have done that effectively. But what they haven't done, and which we talked about at the top of the show, is control the boards. Right now, Phoenix out-rebounding Portland 26-25, but Terry Porter had the hot hand, 14 first-quarter points.
Yeah, he ended up with only 16, but he did give Portland some much-needed offense in the first period. made a couple of three-point baskets, and then Portland must do more of this. They're not a good half-court team. They get out in the break. Those athletes can use their talents in the open floor and get some easy baskets.
And the starting guards for Portland combined for 30 points on 12 of 22 shooting, so they have an odd night going. But once again, it's the rebounding key that has kept Phoenix in the game, and the bench scoring, along with the assist. Phoenix already with 14 assists, and Portland only with 8. Phoenix turned the ball over a lot in that first half. They turned it over 11 times, but Portland did not capitalize on that, Jack. They only scored 12 points off those 11 turnovers.
Phoenix, even though they turned the ball over, they did a good job of converting defensively, and they limited Portland's fast break opportunities, especially there in the second period.
Well, let's see as Dan Marley will get the starting nod in the second half. So Ceballos and Perry are both taking a seat. Marley and Chambers in a sort of a surprise move for Cotton Fitzsimmons starting this second half. Marley during the regular season did start 15 games. Chambers started 66 of the 69 he played. Inside, Drexler gets position on Marley. Drexler with 16. He ties Terry Porter for the lead so far. Believe it or not, Mark West led Phoenix in scoring in the first 24 minutes with 13 points. Chambers had 10. Johnson, the best starter, with 9.
I don't know if Phoenix can win with Jeff Hornacek getting as few shot opportunities as he got in that first half of play.
Let's see which Andrew Lang shows up for Phoenix, the one that can dominate on the defensive end. That foul was on Johnson. That'll be his second personal foul.
It's the first time we've seen this. Portland just cleared out the floor and allowed Drexler to post up against Marley.
Rick Adelman said he wants quick-hitting post-up for Clyde Drexler early in a ball game. Now Duckworth with the right-handed hook. Lang had pretty good position on him, but Kersey came up with it. And the ball belongs to Portland with 21 on the shot clock.
Chambers upset. He felt he was held on that attempt to get the rebound.
And they want to clean up the floor, Dick Pavetta said. 11:06 remaining in the third quarter. 60-56 is our score, in case you just joined us. Portland led by 5 at the end of 1, 2 at halftime. Led by as many as 11. Phoenix has never had the lead. Johnson had it. Kersey over the back.
I thought Kersey got away with one the time before. I thought he was holding Chambers to keep him off the offensive boards. Excuse me, the defensive boards.
Kevin Johnson in that first half, only 9 points. 6 in the first quarter. Jeff Hornacek, none in the first quarter, only 2 for the half.
He had only 3 shots also.
A little weave by Phoenix as the shot clock winds down to 3. Hornacek, the running right-hander, goes down.
Yeah, they're going to have to find him some opportunities. With Kevin Johnson not getting the scoring done, Hornacek has to be effective offensively.
Back to a 2-point lead. Kersey from the outside. Williams had position on Chambers. Porter for 3. His third of the ball game.
Just the way he started the game, spotting up for the 3-point shot.
We talked about the playoff series between these two teams. In games, it is 7 apiece as Chambers lets go with a 3 and hits nothing but net.
Chambers playing with some confidence. He made his first shot from the field, was forced to put the ball on the floor, got some points close in as well, so he's playing very well.
Williams battles in on Chambers, uses his muscle to muscle Chambers in, and Williams with his first field goal.
Both teams talking to the officials an awful lot.
In the 7 playoff losses to Portland, only a couple have been by as many as 6. In fact, only twice. Drexler, turnover number 12. The layup. Drexler with 18 for the ball game. The lead is up to 6.
A lot of complaining to the officials about the physical play and the whistle not sounding. Both teams feel like they're getting fouled a lot.
It's playoff time. You have to expect that. Everything picks up during the playoffs. Shot clock at 3. Shot clock at 2. Shot clock at 1. Chambers does not get it off in time. We talked at the top of the show, Portland's defense during the playoffs, limiting opponents to just 43% shooting and only 94 points. We saw one of the reasons why right there.
That was a good defensive set right there, but Phoenix, for the most part, had done a good job of getting shots. Kevin Johnson and company has been penetrating to the basket, finding a way to score.
Drexler wanted the ball. He got it. The three won't go down. Kevin Johnson tracks down the loose ball. Inside of 8:50. 6-point Blazer lead. Hornacek a little more active. Looks for the pass. Throws it away as Marley looks left, went right.
He's just not looking for shots. And I'm surprised they're not doing something to get him some screens along the baseline. They're trying to give him an opportunity to create the shots for himself.
I think he had it there and he gave it up.
He did. When you're getting as few shots as he's gotten so far in this game, though, you're not going to be as aggressive on the offense.
Drexler throws it into the second row. Phoenix has it. But for the most part, Portland has protected the ball well. Chambers blocked as he got Williams up in the air, and we have a foul.
Well, did they get Williams?
That is Duckworth's third.
Chambers trying to get the ball into the paint, trying to get the ball to the basket. He shot the ball very well from the field in the first half. I'm surprised he's passing up those shots from the outside, trying to get closer in.
Chambers perfect from the line. 3 of 3. Tom Chambers last year was able to draw the most fouls of any starting four in the league. Third most of any starting four in the league.
Goes back to that statement Hubie Brown made about him being a tough assignment. He plays the power forward spot, but really is a small forward because of his ability to put the ball on the floor, his ability to shoot the ball from the outside.
Chambers now with 15 for the ball game. The lead has been cut back to 4 as we near the 8-minute mark of the third quarter. Lang wanted the double team with Marley. Has to quickly back off on Duckworth. Kersey in traffic. Phoenix has control of the basketball.
Phoenix doing a good job defensively also. Both teams switching a lot. They have a lot of quickness at every position.
Baseline jumper by Chambers won't go. Lang with the rebound and the return. Andrew Lang, his first field goal and first points of the ball game. We expected this to be a fun series to watch and a competitive one, and that's what we're going to have. Drexler picks it out of the crowd.
He's so quick. He's so quick. Just ran between 3 Phoenix players that time and somehow came up with that ball.
Tell you what, Jack, everybody at Phoenix had a shot at picking that up. And Drexler is whistled for his 4th personal foul. We're at the Memorial Coliseum in Portland, Oregon, and we are in the third quarter with 7:19 left to be played. The Blazers lead it by 4 as they've led by as many as 11. Drexler now with 4 personal fouls as we take a look at tonight's Chevrolet scoreboard. As Hornacek, only his 3rd field goal of the ball game, but 2nd here in the second half.
But Phoenix finally ran a screen for him along the baseline to free him up.
Porter outside working on Johnson. He pulls up with a 16-footer. He got it. Porter with 21 for the ball game. 31 is his season high this year. In the playoffs, his high was 20. And Marley answers.
It's nice when you can interchange those two. Marley, when he's on, just as effective from the field as Hornacek.
Now Marley trying to track down Clyde Drexler. Portland goes inside to Williams. Bank shot with the hook. Williams with 4. And they'll have another shot at it. Porter on Johnson. Good look inside. Hornacek the defensive play. Shot clock at 14. Duckworth has the ball knocked down, but the foul will be called on Kevin Johnson. Kevin Johnson picks up his 3rd personal foul, but the Blazers behind Clyde Drexler lead it by 4. TNT as our NBA playoff action continues. It will be game 1 of the best of 7 with Seattle and Utah in the other Western Conference semifinals. Join Jim Durham and Dick Versace for all the action at 9 o'clock Eastern time. That'll be coming your way tomorrow night. Talked about in the playoffs, Jack, how physical it is. Case in point.
You'll see Duckworth right here. go for the block. And Clyde Drexler makes the best move of the game for him on the floor, getting out of the way of Duckworth as he's a little bit off balance. And watch how quick Drexler is, though. Beats Hornacek to the ball and then gets right to the basket. You know, he gets so many baskets as it is, you don't want to give him an opportunity to get the garbage baskets, the ones that he just got there.
Well, right now, the bench field goal percentage, 59% for Phoenix. Portland, 50% for the ball game. Clyde Drexler, despite having 4 personal fouls, stays in the ball game, and we still have 6:07 remaining in the third. Cotton Fitzsimmons makes one change in his lineup as Cedric Ceballos comes back, or Tim Perry comes back in.
I think the reason Drexler stays in the game right here is because I think both coaches know that as soon as that run comes by either team, this game could be over. So you just can't afford to have Drexler on the bench right now.
Drexler for 3, it won't go. Perry tries to come up with it. Instead, he knocks it out of bounds. That's the field goal percentage in the third quarter.
It's amazing after the way the game got started, 33 and 34% in the first period.
Drexler, Duckworth, Lang moves out on him. Lang got a piece of that ball. And who comes up with the loose one? Drexler.
Guy that does it a lot.
Inside Kersey, everybody got a piece of that. Duckworth again using the big body, can't get it.
But look at the offensive board work.
Now Lang and Duckworth go into a headlock with each other, and Williams finally completes it.
The offensive board work, and you just have to love it. Portland getting in there, making it very difficult for Phoenix.
We talked about the rebounding of Phoenix. If they want to stay in this basketball game, they've got to control the boards. They did in the first half. Johnson, the penetration, knocked out by Drexler.
The thing that the offensive board work does is it limits the opportunities for Phoenix to get in the open floor.
Let's take a look at the last bucket by Buck Williams.
And I hope we get to see a lot of this series and watch how aggressively, well, we don't, but Portland knocked it around like they were playing volleyball 3 or 4 times, just knocking it back and forth until they were able to get the high percentage shot from Buck Williams.
Well, everybody in the arena, except for Bernie Fryer, thought that was a foul. Bernie, the official, said it was 3 seconds. 4:56 left to be played in the third. Drexler pulls back, doesn't get it. Lang clears the rebound. May have been a good non-call by Dick Bavetta.
Lang did travel, but he got bumped.
Johnson the pull-up J, and he's got it. So Kevin Johnson now with his first field goal of the second half has 11 for the ball game. Rick Adelman wanted to keep the 2 guards under 50 points combined. Duckworth and Tim Perry took a big elbow to the eye.
He sure did, and he has to be hurting.
Duckworth, meanwhile, picks up his 4th personal foul.
Got him right in the eye. And Tim Perry is saying, leave me in the game, please. He wants to play. Watch Duckworth right here. Going to get the pass and watch him just clear Perry out.
He uses that left arm. Kevin Duckworth, all 280-plus pounds of him to go along with the 7-foot frame. Chambers set to check in for Phoenix. Hornacek on Drexler. Shot clock at 7. Shot clock at 4. Hornacek to the hole.
Big shot. Oh, boy. He has not put the ball on the floor this whole game. And they're going to get Clyde Drexler 2 free throws on this as Tim Perry just
grabbed his
handful of jersey. One of the few times you've seen him put the ball on the floor, Hornacek here.
That is Tim Perry's 2nd personal foul. The problem there was that Clyde Drexler just snuck by everybody down the court. And that is what happened in the 2 losses Phoenix had to Portland, is that Portland kept beating them back.
Perry got that finger in the eye. He has to be having trouble seeing right now.
Chambers comes into the ball game, and Perry sits down. Danny Ainge comes in for the Blazers. And Jerome Kersey sits down.
You know, you ask how long in the first half Cotton could leave Lang on the floor. I'm going to ask right now how long he can afford to leave West on the bench. West had played so well in that first half. He needs some minutes here. He's having a lot of success down low.
Well, now Kevin Johnson starting to look for that outside shot, which may open up the penetration. Porter misses his first 3 of the game, but Buck Williams is there for the board. Ainge given the 15. He takes it, doesn't get it.
The offensive board work again.
Williams, the whistle. Once again, as you mentioned, Portland controlling underneath.
They're sending 4 guys, sometimes 5 guys to the basket. Now, if Phoenix can get it off, they're going to get some easy shots on the other end. But when you have as much confidence in your rebound ability, you can send 5 guys to the board.
Foul was on, as you saw, Andrew Lang. Charles Williams, better known as Buck, who got the nickname from a friend at age 12, has led the league in field goal percentage 2 straight years, the first time since Kevin McHale was able to do it back in 87-88.
He shot only 59% from the free throw line, 13 of 22 in the series against San Antonio. Portland as a team shot only 67% from the free throw line in that series, so they're going to have to start making those free throws.
Marley over Ainge, buries it.
Good ball movement that time. Phoenix looking for the open man.
So right now, Portland finds themselves in another tie at 77. Phoenix working very hard, both on the defensive end and offensive end, to stay in this ball game. Chambers tipped it up and in, except it didn't go. Ainge with the follow. Now, Kevin Johnson should take Danny Ainge off the dribble, you would think. Inside the lane, in a crowd, ugly shot. But Portland can't hold on to it.
Timeout, Phoenix.
We've got a timeout. 2:46 remaining to be played in the third quarter. And we are knotted up at 77.
And I just don't know how to. You see Tim Perry, he's going to the locker room right there during that timeout. I don't know how to read this. Phoenix started out shooting the ball very, very poorly. Now they're shooting 69% here in this period. Portland 41%. You would think Phoenix would be up in this game, and they just now get their first lead of the game. So it's been a game of streaks. Neither team has been able to sustain any kind of momentum at all.
I'll keep you updated on Tim Perry's condition after getting hit in the eye, but Kevin Johnson, as you mentioned, beginning to look for his shot a little bit more. And that is what Cotton told him midway through the season. Great pass to Dan Marley inside. It didn't go. Almost hit the 24-second shot clock. 2-on-1. Kersey to Ainge. And we're tied again. Portland is a team of streaks, and they put on streaks offensively and defensively. The key to beating them is withstanding those streaks.
Well, the real problem for Portland is if they turn into a perimeter team, and they have shot a lot of shots from the outside here in this third period.
Johnson's 3 won't go. Tied up at 79, inside of 2 minutes in Portland.
They're just not a good perimeter. Now, this guy can shoot it, but as a team, Portland not good from the perimeter.
Playoff experience of Danny Ainge. Cuts in the paint, off-balance shot. He does draw the whistle. And Terry Porter gives Danny Ainge a look like, why are you trying to do it yourself?
Well, that's not Danny Ainge's game. And Porter knows that, as does everyone else here. He is not going to be effective putting the ball on the floor trying to shake people. He has to spot up, use some screens to get open for his jump shot.
That foul was on Dan Marley. Ainge is the first to go. Danny Ainge was 7 for the ball game. As Enos Watley comes back into the lineup, Terry Porter will take a seat. Ainge gets them both. 2-point Blazer lead. Watley on Johnson. Lang sets the pick. Johnson works off it. Now Lang and Williams. Lang takes a big elbow for Buck Williams underneath. Chambers over to Robinson. Doesn't get it. Good position by Lang. Can't come up with it. Marley does. New 24.
Phoenix beating Portland to the loose balls right now. They're coming up with all of them.
The crowd starting to get into it. Hornacek lets it go for 3. Boy, he was 5 feet outside of three-point land. Plus, we have a foul, says Bernie Fryer. as we talked about Buck Williams and Andrew Lang getting into it, and I think that may have been it.
And Lang does get the free throw because the foul occurred in the act of shooting, so Lang will shoot one.
I'll tell you what, Buck Williams and Andrew were going at it the previous possession. Here they are again.
But Buck real close right now to picking up the technical.
Buck talking to Andrew Lang. He's not talking to the official. He's talking to Andrew Lang out of Arkansas, the fourth-year pro, who's not paying much attention to him.
And we'll know how much attention he's paying after he makes this or misses a free throw. He makes it.
He got one. And it is a two-point Sun lead at 83-81. Inside of 1 minute. Robinson takes Chambers to the hole, and he's got it.
Well, he's put on his, and there they are going at it. They've been going right at it, and I think you'll have a double technical. Actually, Lang is going to get nailed with the technical foul. And KJ is doing just the right thing. How can you call it one way and not call it the other? If anything, both teams should get a technical.
Here it is again.
Well, there's Lang and Buck Williams going at each other. And I
tell you, I don't see how they didn't give them both. They both pushed off from another angle. Well, Buck really didn't push, but still.
You know, that situation is going to be getting out of hand. Maybe that technical foul will calm him down. West is up and probably will check into the game for Lang, I would assume, because they cannot afford to lose it.
And that is what's going to happen. Andrew Lang sits down. Mark West checks in. But in the playoffs or in any game in the NBA, if somebody pushes you, Jack, you've got to push them back. If not, they're going to push you the rest of the game.
You have to. And, of course, Portland knows they have to be physical with this team, so I would assume they're trying to make a statement down low.
Hornacek had it, lost it. Chambers is tied up. Throws it away to Age. He's got Watley on the left. Good play by Marley, who gets his hand on it with 25 seconds remaining in the quarter.
A note on Tim Curry, he will return. He took a finger in the eye.
Well, the team doctor just looking at it. He'll be coming back into the lineup. 5-second difference between the shot and the game clock. Watley way out front. They clear the middle out. Hornacek right on Danny Ainge, slapping at the basketball. The double team by West and Hornacek. Ainge throws it right into our table as Marley and Watley collide, and that foul will be on Dan Marley. I'll tell you what, if you don't realize how hard these guys are playing, you should sit here and feel the collision right in front of us. It moved our table back about 4 inches.
Every possession in this close ball game is a big possession. Phoenix has been doing an excellent job of getting to the loose balls. They almost came up with a steal that time. Watley has given this team some good minutes. Did a good job in that first half.
Steve Burt will check into Phoenix's lineup. Watley was 6th-year pro out of Alabama, was a first-round pick back in 1983 by Chicago.
Made one basket in that first half of play, but he did a real good job of running the floor and keeping Kevin Johnson away from the basket.
Well, now Rick Adelman goes with a quick team as Buck Williams goes out to a round of applause. Robert Pack checks into the lineup. So now it'll be Ainge, Pack, Watley, Robinson, and Kersey for Portland in the final 8 seconds. Watley gets them both. 3-point Blazer lead. And Watley with the steal. Fakes once, doesn't get it. Burt comes down with it. Johnson, if he hurries, will get it off. He does at the buzzer, and it goes!
Is he excited or what?
Kevin Johnson looked up at the clock, showed a great deal of patience. Let's look at it again, and that three-pointer by Johnson ties it up at 86. Inside the Memorial Coliseum, where 12,888 did not like the final call of the quarter as we tied it up at 86. Now remember, it is not the clock, it is the horn and the light.
I think the shot was in the air, and I think it should have counted.
Terry Porter doesn't like it.
They showed the replay up on the big screen, and you could not hear the sound, and the crowd thought, as Terry Porter thought, the shot should not have counted.
Which is a case in point, I think, for other sports, not showing controversial plays on those big screens. Can cause a little bit of animosity. But we have 12 minutes left to be played in the ball game. We're tied up at 86. Portland has led by as many as 11, but Phoenix's bench scoring and hitting the boards has kept them in this basketball game. And in that quarter, Hornacek had 9 and Johnson had 9.
The guards finally coming to life for the Phoenix Suns. They are shooting 51% for the game to only 41% for the Trailblazers. They shot 63% in that third period.
Well, Cliff Robinson goes with the white headband, and according to Danny Ainge's philosophy, that means he'll play defense in this quarter. Not bad field goal shooting in that third, 63% for Phoenix. Johnson has been looking for his shot, has been hot, gets a second chance point for the Suns.
He gets up off the floor. At his size, it's amazing that he can get up as high as he does.
He is 6'1". Now Watley on Johnson, Hornacek being trailed by Ainge. The penetration, kicking back out to Marley, who drains the jumper.
And it's once again Kevin Johnson with his penetration, finding shots for his teammates.
A lot of teams believe that if you keep it close with Portland near the end, they'll self-destruct.
Right.
We'll have to see. They know that they don't shoot free throws well in the final 5 minutes. They don't shoot it well in 48 minutes.
Right. As I mentioned, they were shooting only 67% in that series with San Antonio.
Duckworth works in strong as the shot clock goes off, and Kevin Johnson with the rebound. Suns have their biggest lead of the game. It is 2. Inside to Marley, and Thundering Dan works his way around for 2 more. He has 16.
And while the action was going on under the basket, Jeff Hornacek and Jerome Kersey were squaring up out around the half-court line, facing off with each other.
Porter and Drexler set to check in for the Blazers. The basket won't go. Here's the last basket by Dan Marley.
You'll see him right here. Marley doing a good job. And as I mentioned, one of the officials tied up during this little melee under the basket out at half court, trying to keep Jeff Hornacek and Jerome Kersey from squaring off.
Cliff Robinson, a young player who matured an awful lot last year, gets his first. Has provided some excellent punch off the bench for Rick Adelman this year as Cedric Ceballos checks into the lineup, and they're going to give Jeff Hornacek a rest.
Robinson blocked over 100 shots this season, the first player to do that since Sam Bowie was a part of this team. Of course, Sam went to New Jersey when Buck Williams came over here a few years ago.
The crowd is standing. The Suns will lead it by 2. Their biggest lead was 4. Ceballos, baseline, fakes once, tries the reverse, doesn't get it. And we'll have a loose ball foul, and that will be on Cedric Ceballos.
Well, that's the problem with Ceballos. He is known to take low percentage shots at times. He has to make sure they need his offense. He has to make sure he remains concentrated here.
Drexler dishes off. West got a piece of it. Then Johnson from behind over Duckworth. Kevin thought he had all basketball. But what he has is his 4th personal. That'll send Kevin Duckworth to the line. That was close.
It was close. I still think Portland needs to take more advantage of Kevin Duckworth on the low post, though. I don't know that Phoenix has anyone, especially when you look at this lineup, that can body up with Duckworth and keep him away from the basket.
That's the regular season in the playoffs, which shows you what type of year Kevin Duckworth has had, up and down, and this is the former most improved player in the NBA. Duck gets the second. That's his first point of the second half. He has 12 for the ball game. The lead of Phoenix is 1. Great pressure defense by Portland. Inside, Ceballos had a cutting carry. Marley the save. Shot clock at 1. Perry throws it up. They're not going to get it off.
Well, that half-court pressure by Portland at times, Phoenix looks totally out of whack. I mean, they just seem like they don't know what they're doing at times. And Portland needs to play that way every minute. They do that, they're unbeatable.
Tim Perry is going to come out of the ball game, but Dick Pavetta says to Tom Chambers, you have to sit down. Tim's going to stay in because Cotton Fitzsimmons looked right at Tim Perry and said, didn't you see the clock? Which the hook came out right away, a little Sparky Anderson action. A lot of turnovers in this ball game, 29. Drexler drives baseline. The whistle and the foul. That'll be Dan Marley's third personal foul.
He's just too quick. Marley, when he's healthy, does a much better job against Drexler. Marley, you see his knee with that brace on it, just does not have the movement yet.
6 straight years for Clyde Drexler, 20-plus scoring. And since coming over, or since playing here in Portland, he's really sacrificed some offense for the team. As he averaged 27 points back in 87-88. West keeps it alive. And we have a foul. Is that on Robinson? Well, Duckworth should be glad. Robinson picks up his 4th. So Robinson now with 4. Duckworth with 4. Drexler with 4. Drexler's had that, picked up that 4th foul early in the third quarter.
He spent some time on the bench. Rick Adelman got him out of there, protected him just a little bit to save him for this 4th period. Clyde, though, understands his situation. He knows he has to stay in the game.
The switch, that puts Kersey on Johnson. Marley left open for the 3, and he parries it.
You remember the first one he took didn't come anywhere close to even touching the rim. Well, that's persistence there.
He took the most 3s on this ball club. That's his first this evening to make. Robinson on Chambers, backing his way in. Chambers slaps at it, had a piece of it. Robinson forces it up, gets the return, and Chambers clears the rebound. He was lucky to get the return right in his hand.
He was lucky to get another chance. Robinson right at the basket, just missed that.
Phoenix by 3, inside, West dishes off. Ceballos can't hold on to it. Here comes Portland. Quickly back on defense, but not quick enough for Drexler, who misses it. Phoenix wanted a jump ball, but it will be a foul instead. And that'll be on Mark West, his 4th.
Chambers has been lucky a couple of times. He missed another chance to get the defensive rebound. This time, though, he's not as fortunate because Portland does end up on the free throw line. Tell you, with Ceballos in the lineup and with Chambers in the lineup, Phoenix really struggling on the boards with those two.
Got ready to shoot the 675th consecutive sellout of Memorial Coliseum in Portland, where the Phoenix Suns have taken over the lead 93-91 with 8:17 left to be played. Jeff Hornacek comes back into the lineup. Cedric Ceballos takes a seat on the far end of the bench. Robinson comes out for Portland. Buck Williams checks back in.
Portland will break ground for a new building in July. This building holds only 12,888. I guess it's the smallest arena in the NBA.
Smallest in the NBA. 1-point Phoenix lead. Their biggest has been 4. Johnson over Porter.
Man, they have made some big shots. And once again, that's the difference in this Phoenix team and Portland team. They are a team capable of making the outside jump shots when they're forced to go in the half-court game.
Drexler tries to answer, way short into the left. Kicks it back out to Porter. Kersey left open from 19. Well, Kevin Johnson has had the hot hand for the Phoenix Suns.
The thing you must look at, though, is where are the shots coming from for Portland? If you see them shooting the jump shots, they're not going to be as effective.
West has it rejected by Kersey. Portland on the run. The crowd is into it. Duckworth has it stolen by Johnson. Phoenix the other way. The look into Marley. He doesn't get it, but the whistle blows.
Great timing on that pass from KJ. He had to pick the moment to throw that pass at the precise time. He did it that time after getting to the paint area. He's telling Cotton he's a little winded. He needs a breather here. But watch Kersey on this block. Great weak side help.
And another angle. Dan Marley goes to the line, 76% on the year. And during the playoffs, Dan Marley was 6 of 6 from the line. Now make it 7 of 7. So he's yet to miss from the stripe. And his points tonight, add one more to that, 21 for the ball game, 13 here in the second half. Phoenix back up by 3.
Well, Kevin Johnson better catch his breath very quickly here. He can't afford to stay on the bench any more than a minute or two.
Drexler on Hornacek. West tries to give him some help. Shot clock inside of 10. Drexler spotting up on the outside. Duckworth takes it down deep, doesn't get it. Chambers has it. And the ball goes out, and it'll belong to Phoenix. We talked about controlling the boards at the top. That is what Phoenix needed to do, and they're doing it here in the second half. We have a timeout, 6:49 left to be played in the ball game. Can Phoenix hold on? We'll find out. They lead it by 3. And here's tonight's Dutch boy in the paint. We've talked about the rebound situation. Although the Blazers have it on the offensive end, the second chance points awfully close.
I'm surprised Portland hasn't been able to convert more of those opportunities. They have had some chip shots there, real close in at the basket. KJ stays on the bench. Just a little surprised I am about that.
Well, the crowd trying to get their Blazers back in it as the fourth quarter field goal percentage has Phoenix hot, Portland not. Burt almost turned it over.
Almost.
Hornacek from way outside. My goodness. That's his second one from about 5 feet outside of the arc. Drexler comes inside hard, and he goes down hard on that left elbow, but he quickly bounces up. That foul was on Mark West. That'll be his 5th personal foul.
Well, I'm still thinking about that three-point shot that Jeff Hornacek made. You just don't expect him to pull up and shoot it from that far out. And especially when he had the first half, kind of first half he had, only 1 of 3 field goal attempts in the first half.
Doesn't get it to go.
Watch right here. He's going to just make a move, and he's way out beyond that three-point line. All bottom.
For all young basketball players out there, Jeff Hornacek, they asked him what it took to become a good shooter. He goes, a lot of shots.
A lot of practice. And the green light from the coach.
That does help. Outside, Hornacek again. He goes down hard as Kersey knocks him. Porter falls, and we have a loose ball foul. So that'll be on Dan Marley, and I never saw it, but that is his 4th personal foul. So Marley with 4, West with 5, and Lang with 4, Johnson with 4.
But Jeff Hornacek says he got hit in the face on this play, and there's the bump by Marley. And maybe a little acting there also.
Well, I tell you what, I don't think he hit him. I think if Dan Marley's going to hit you, you're going to go back about 2 or 3 feet.
I think so.
Terry Porter, who had 14 in that first quarter, really ignited Portland. Now has 22 for the ball game. 6 coming here in the second half. He's 4 of 4 from the line. The Suns' lead is now down to 3. They've led by as many as 5. That is their biggest. We are at the 6-minute mark of the 4th and final quarter in Portland. Burt patiently waiting for the double team.
Still surprised Kevin Johnson is still over on the bench. I thought he would be back in by now.
He has 4 fouls. Marley draws the foul.
Although Burt, you know, he does a good job. A guy that the Suns signed out of the CBA. He comes in. He has been given this Phoenix team a lot of good minutes. He replaced Nigel Knight on this roster. Knight out, obviously, for the rest of the season. So Burt doing a pretty decent job.
Well, you talk to the Phoenix players, and they say the heart and soul of this club is Dan Marley. Duckworth has to sit down with 5 personals. Robinson comes in. Marley, who came back from surgery on a cyst, which was adjacent to his spinal cord, gave everybody quite a scare.
Well, I just remembered when Phoenix made Marley their pick a couple years ago.
People booed.
Everyone in Phoenix booed. They booed when they picked him. Cotton came on and said, "You guys are going to live to regret booing this guy," and he has proven Cotton right.
Cotton working Dick Pavetta, the official, on the far side. Now it is Porter with Burt on him. Burt tries to put a body, goes for the fade. Offensive foul, says Dick Pavetta. You called it, Jack.
Yes, I think that's a good play. And we talked Burt. The fact that he has played well backing up Kevin Johnson at the point guard spot. He holds his ground. Kevin Johnson gave him the pump fake. He didn't buy it. And I think that was a proper call.
Rick Adelman told us at the beginning of the year he didn't want his team wasting energy complaining about calls. Jeff Hornacek wisely calls a timeout at the double team, and Clyde Drexler comes over to talk to Dick Pavetta. But we do have a timeout. The Bluebirds are out in Portland, but the Suns lead it by 5 with 5:17 left to be played. Let's take a look at that Terry Porter foul. What happened, Jeff?
Well, I think Porter just jumps in. And this one now, yes, Burt does go up in the air, but from the other angle, you would have seen that he did, in fact, jump in. I think right now with Portland, they're a little bit too concerned about the officiating and not about what's going on the floor. They have to just wipe that out of their minds right now and play ball.
Porter takes it into the paint, knocks Chambers over, no call. They'll try it again, has it blocked by West, this time a call. And that'll be Mark West's 6th personal foul, so West with 13 first-half points will leave the ball game with 4:58 left to be played. And that puts a great deal of pressure on Andrew Lang.
Westo has given this team some very, very valuable minutes. Lang is going to have to come in, Ron, now and play aggressive basketball on both ends, but he has to be very, very strong on the boards.
And at the line, it will be Porter.
Well, I didn't know it could get this quiet in this building.
I don't think so either. Let's take a look at the foul trouble situation. West out, Lang and Marley with 4. Duckworth 1 away from being sent to the bench. Drexler and Robinson with 4 apiece. Porter with the 2nd. Terry Porter, a perfect 6 of 6 from the line. The lead is down to 3. 4:55 left to be played in the ballgame. Rick Adelman said he wanted to make Phoenix a jump shooting team. Well, they've been hitting the outside shots in the second half. Let's see if that strategy continues. Marley took his eye off the ball, which allowed Drexler to come up with it. Here he comes.
Now that's Portland right there. That's Portland basketball. The steal leads to the quick basket opportunity.
Marley got it down quickly, a 1-point advantage for the Suns. Chambers posting up Robinson. It goes out, but we have a foul, and that will be on Robinson, his 5th.
Robinson thought he got cleared out that time by Chambers. We'll watch right here on the replay. I think he might have an argument initially. Now just watch right here. There he is, clears Robinson out, and then Robinson reaches over.
Marley will trigger the inbounds pass.
Surprised KJ is not handling the ball here.
There he is. Chambers,
that's what he gives you there.
Portland has a chance to take the lead. Drexler dribbles it off his leg. He's down. And we're going to have timeout. Well, it would have been a 3 seconds or a jump ball. Rick Adelman, I think, may take a 20. And it will be a 20-second timeout. Let's take a look at that whole series again if we can, because Clyde Drexler dribbled it off his legs. He really dodged a bullet because he was trying to do so much himself.
I think he glanced and he saw Tom Chambers coming up from the weak side, tried to change over, and the ball hit right off of his knee. Good effort just to save that one.
Here it is again.
Now watch, Chambers comes up, and Clyde just kicks it right there. Boy, he's going to have a terrible knee burn.
Has a good timeout because Tom Chambers and Jeff Hornacek were about to tie it up. Listen to the crowd in Portland. They want their team to come back.
A chance for them here to gain a 1 or 2 point lead at the basket.
What a game we started out with tonight here on TNT. The Knicks in an exciting finish over the Bulls. And it's coming down to that here in Portland this evening. And I feel the trend will continue tomorrow night with Seattle and Utah. Porter for three. Doesn't get it. The tip won't go. The rebound comes to Phoenix.
Guess who it is? Jeff Hornacek.
He's not scoring a lot of points tonight, but he's doing a lot of things that don't show up. As Johnson knocks down, Porter takes the J and he drains it, and Rick Adelman is livid on the far side. Well, Porter got away with one flop before, so.
Yeah, he's saying you call the offensive foul on Porter, and you don't give us the play on that one.
Robinson. Kersey posting up on Hornacek. Takes it inside. Out the basket.
Oh, he just cleared him out that time. Stayed right with the play.
The foul was on Jeff Hornacek, only his third.
Now just watch how badly he wants this basket. And he just stays right with it. A good pump fake. Boy, that's good concentration there.
That was the second personal foul on Hornacek.
The last 3 or 4 baskets, though, for Portland have been down in the paint area, either off the offensive boards or by penetrating and getting into the paint.
Kersey, a perfect 4 of 4 from the line. Can't complete it. Robinson with the rebound, the outlet. Suns by 1. Just about 3 minutes left to be played. Robinson on Chambers. Drexler cuts through the paint. He's posting up on Hornacek. We'll try it again. Chambers on the double. Shot clock at 3. Shot clock at 2. Lang with the rejection. And then Chambers is fouled by Clyde Drexler.
Oh, that's a big play by Lang.
Drexler's 5th personal foul.
Lang led this team in blocks. Clyde wanted the goaltend here, but boy, look how high he goes up to get that one.
That was close to a goaltending.
Yes, it was.
Let's take a look at it, see if we can see if it's coming down. I don't know. That's very, very close.
Very close.
But the 5th foul on Clyde Drexler, and that'll send Tom Chambers to the line on the other end. He's perfect from the stripe.
Lang averaged 2.5 blocks over the regular season, right below 2 blocks per game here in the playoffs.
How about that? Chambers adds 1 more to it. The lead is 3. 2:40 remaining to be played in the ballgame. Portland seemed to have this game well in hand in that first 24 minutes. Porter to the paint, uses the right hand. The basket won't go. Andrew Lang and Kevin Johnson said Porter was using his arm to fend off the defenders. Lang picks up his 5th personal foul. Let's see if he uses that arm.
Well, you see Lang right up under the basket right there. Got to Porter just a little bit late. Yes, I think Porter did push off, but Lang got him first.
Porter from the line. 7 for 7 for Terry Porter. 26 points for the 7th-year pro out of Wisconsin Stevens Point. 31 of 39 now, the Blazers from the line. Make that 32 of 40. And the crowd is standing to the chant of defense. Chambers turns. He's got it.
Oh, big shot. And he made that under a lot of pressure.
19 points for Tom Chambers as Hornacek will be whistled for the foul, going for the ball.
Yeah, not a smart play by Jeff Hornacek. You won't see him make that play very often.
That's his third personal foul. Both teams are in the penalty.
Terry Porter doing a good job of keeping this dribble alive, making sure that he either gets a good look at the basket or one of his teammates.
This is a young man that's had to overcome a lot of adversity the last 2 years. His mother passing away last year. His father, Herman, died during training camp this season. He took it quite hard because he said his father taught him everything about basketball. And in fact, he said, you know, my father always thought I was overpaid, and no matter how much I made, I should still work on my game. Porter perfect from the line, 10 of 10. And the lead is back down to 1, nearing 2 minutes left in the fourth. Chambers wide open underneath. He got away from Robinson. Nobody saw him. Johnson tries to force the pass. Turnover.
I give Terry Porter a lot of credit. Terry stayed right with Kevin Johnson. They're using a screen along the baseline to try to free Johnson up. But Porter doing a real good job.
Porter taking his time out front. They're clearing the middle line. Drexler tries to take Marley off the dribble. The switch by Chambers inside. Rejected by Andrew Lang. His second block to Johnson. He's going to have an easy jam. What a block by Andrew Lang. Boy, we talked about him when Mark West took over. That Lang needed to step up, and he did just that. The Suns by 3. Suns by 3, and this is the play that made it all happen. Andrew Lang.
Well, watch this block here. There's no question that's an excellent defensive play, and it leads right to the fast break opportunity for KJ.
Johnson takes it in for the slam. It is an emotional series, as you can tell by Kevin Johnson. Rick Adelman on the play. He didn't like the call. He thought there should have been a foul, I think, on Drexler's drive on Chambers.
Well, I thought Chambers did get him with the body as Clyde tried to get to the basket.
Here's our update.
Yeah, although Hornacek not scoring a lot of points tonight, you see him with 12 assists, and that's what he does. He finds a way to help his team, and he finds a way to beat you.
Well, Rick Adelman liked to keep the 10 assists between the two of them. Right now, it is not that at all. The reset, nobody has a foul to give. The Suns still with 3 timeouts, plus a 20. Blazers with 2 full. And the foul trouble. West is already sitting down. Lang and Marley close to it. Duckworth, Drexler, and Robinson with 5 each. 1:28 left to be played in the ball game. Inside to Drexler. Working on Marley. To Robinson, to the hole. Help the basket.
Well, Cotton's saying that was an awfully quick whistle. That time Lang's going to pick up the foul. I don't know for sure.
That is
where it comes from. There he is. He pushes Jerome Kersey out of the way. It didn't come on the shot, but he's fouled out of the ball game.
The 4 blocks have been the big one because 2 of those have really put the brakes on the Blazers, but he's going to have to sit down with 1:15 left to be played in the ball game. Now, Cotton's going to have to go for a smaller lineup. He won't have a true center in the lineup. He's going to bring Tim Perry in, who stands at 6'9", but he is not the size of Andrew Lang at 6'11", 250. How about free throws in the quarter? So if Rick Adelman and the Blazers think that it's not going their way, that stat tells likewise. This tells something different.
Tell the story. If you look at the Phoenix roster, Kurt Rambis at 6'8" has not played in the playoffs this season. Gerard Mustaf has been bothered by a bruise of the right thigh at 6'10".
And he didn't even dress tonight.
And he's not dressed, so you have to come now with Tim Perry at 6'7".
It comes down to a 1:10 game. We are tied up. Johnson working around, looks for Chambers. He forces the shot, doesn't get it, and then we come right back to Kevin Johnson inside to Perry, who's fouled on the play. Buck Williams picks up the foul, and Kevin Johnson holding his left hand, and Joe Prosky, the trainer of Phoenix, is going to have to look at it.
Spray a little cold spray on it over there to try to freeze it up. That's what he's doing right there on your screen.
Tim Perry at the line. The red and white pom-poms are waving.
Now he gets all bottom on that one.
No pressure.
80% here in the playoffs. 8 of 10. Tim Perry coming into this game.
The numbers on Perry tonight. Maybe we can show you what he is looking into. There it is.
But the only thing he should be seeing right now is the front part of the rim. Concentrating on the front of the rim.
He concentrated on the front of the rim. He hit it too much.
He hit it.
A 1-point Phoenix lead inside of a minute. Johnson, the concentration on Porter, gives it up to Drexler.
Well, I would just clear out and allow Drexler to work one-on-one. Phoenix handling that.
Marley comes over for the double team. It's loose on the floor. We're going to have a jump ball with Marley and Kersey. But what defensive effort by Dan Marley coming over on the double team to tie him up.
I say that's just what I'm talking about right there. Phoenix is doing a good job against that pick and roll situation. I would give Clyde the ball and just clear out and allow him to work one-on-one against Dan Marley.
Well, Dan Marley did a smart thing. He went out to half court, and they were going to have Hornacek jump it because of his bad knee. Bernie Fryer said, "It's you, Dan." The tip belongs to Drexler. And a timeout by Portland. When we come back, it'll be a 6-second difference between the shot and the game clock. Portland will have the basketball trailing by 1. They're standing in Portland where they trail the Suns 111 to 110 with 29.1 left to be played. Portland will have the basketball, a 6-second difference between the shot and the game clock. Portland only 1 timeout remaining. If you're Portland, you would have to think that they're going to clear out for Clyde Drexler.
I think Phoenix has done such a good job against the pick and roll of forcing Drexler to give the ball up or double teaming that it would just make sense if you're going to give him the ball, just clear out and allow him to work against Marley or Hornacek, whoever guards. And of course, if Marley is on him, Marley still is bothered somewhat by that knee, and he's not been able to handle Drexler's quick move to the basket.
Phoenix playing without a center. Portland slow coming out of the huddle to where Cotton Fitzsimmons walked over to the officials and said, "Come on, can we play basketball?" Tom Chambers coming off the bench to provide an offensive spark tonight.
Yeah, what a pleasant lift that has been.
We're going to sit and watch this with you. 2 exciting games tonight. It comes down to this. Porter goes, the foul by Chambers as he puts out the hip. And that'll be Chambers, only his second, but it'll send Terry Porter to the line.
Chambers' thigh or knee hit Terry Porter's thigh as he comes over the. There it is, right there.
And there, he hooked him with the right leg. Tom didn't like it.
Yeah. What else are you going to call that? I mean, it was right there.
We talked about Portland and their free throw shooting in the final minutes of the game. Porter, no problem. He is 11 for 11 from the line tonight. And we are tied. 14 coming in that first quarter for Porter.
Yeah, he got off to such a good start, making the threes, as he has during this whole playoff.
And he gets the second, a 1-point lead. Phoenix will use one of their timeouts. The shot clock has been turned off. Phoenix can run it to the end. They trail by 1. Tonight's excitement on TNT with Inside the NBA, Fred Hickman and Doc Rivers of the LA Clippers coming up next on TNT. Tomorrow night, excitement continues. Playoff action. We'll have Sonics in Utah beginning at 9 o'clock Eastern time. Talk about first game importance in the playoff series. The Blazers 10-1 series record. When they win the first game of a series. When they lose game 1, they are 2-12. And overall, 81% of the teams that win game 1 go on to win a series.
Well, I think what you'll see here from the Phoenix Suns Kevin Johnson will probably start out along the baseline. They will set a screen down there to free him up. And I still think, even though Kevin threw the ball away the last time they tried to do that, you'll see him try to use his quickness to break down the Portland defense and find a shot for one of his teammates.
Well, Phoenix will be taking the ball out underneath the basket, going the length of the court. The shot clock has been turned off.
Well, since they are going to bring it the length of the court, they will give Kevin Johnson the ball and just allow him to bring the ball up the floor. Terry Porter's done a real good job, though, of not allowing KJ to break him down.
High pick and roll. Johnson goes around it. Porter slaps it away, stolen by Drexler. We've got a whistle and a foul.
No.
From behind. Look at it again.
I mentioned Terry Porter. He's done a good job of keeping Kevin Porter away, keeping KJ away from the basket. The long reach knocks it away.
Drexler, 6 of 9 from the line. He'll have another.
Drexler on his free throws has been falling away as he has let the ball go. See if he stays in there longer this time.
It almost looked like he double dribbled when he came up with the steal down the far end. He missed it. He went over the line too quickly, and it'll be Phoenix's ball. So they have a chance to win, and Fitzsimmons calls a timeout. 10 seconds left to be played in the ball game, and the Blazers lead it by 2. We're going to be back. 113, 111, 10.3 left to be played in the ball game as Clyde Drexler just 3 of 6 from the line in this quarter. Now, the old adage is when you're on the road, you go for the win, not the tie. Is that what Cotton Fitzsimmons is telling his troops right now?
I wouldn't run a play for a three-point shot, but definitely if some penetration comes and I can see someone spotted up behind the three-point line, yes, I would take it without hesitation.
Timeouts remaining. The Suns with a full and a 20. The Blazers with 1 full timeout left. Ed Nealy is taking off his jersey, coming out into the lineup now for the Phoenix Suns. You wonder why Ed Nealy? Well, Ed Nealy's added something to his repertoire this year, and that is the three-point shot. On the year, Ed Nealy is 20 of 50 during the regular season, 40%. That gives you an extra added man out there that can hit the three.
Right.
He is 2 of 5 from three-point land during the playoffs. Chambers better do something. We've got a whistle. Timeout, Phoenix.
But they couldn't get the ball to Kevin Johnson.
22nd timeout, Kevin Johnson says. That wasn't the play they obviously wanted. Credit goes to Portland's defense.
Well, credit goes once again to Terry Porter, making sure that Kevin Johnson doesn't catch the basketball. And I still think he has to handle it in this situation. I know I've called on him a couple times here late. He lost the dribble to Porter's defense. Once Porter cut him off and he threw the ball out of bounds, but he is still one of the best at penetrating and, number one, making the shot if it's there, but the other thing, finding the open man after the help comes.
Now, another problem that presents itself for Phoenix, if they do shoot, they may have to do it quickly because it won't give them a chance with only 6.1 left to get a follow shot.
Right. They don't have the luxury here of working it to get the shot they want.
Danny Ainge in the lineup. Jerome Kersey, Terry Porter, Cliff Robinson, and Clyde Drexler for Portland. Marley, Johnson, Chambers, Nealy, and Hornacek for the Suns.
You might see Kersey jump out of bounds to force the delay of game just to see what they're going to be doing.
I don't think Danny Ainge can come into the lineup.
Right, they're going to make him go back out.
He cannot make a substitution during that timeout.
22nd timeout.
And now Dick Pavetta talking to Rick Adelman about it. So Ainge for obviously some type of defensive purposes out front, which is sort of funny in itself.
Yeah, right.
Let's see if they're going to let him in. No, they're not going to let him in. Buck Williams comes back in. Here we go,
gives him a little more quickness.
Here we go. Chambers goes up. The shot won't go. The rebound. 0.1 left. Portland has the basketball. Phoenix has the basketball with 0.1. They cannot get a shot off unless it's tipped. because you have to have at least 0.3 of a second for a shot. And we're going to take a look at Tom Chambers. I thought, although he was moving forward, he got a pretty good look at the basket.
I think he did. And once again, I have to give Terry Porter a lot of credit. You know that Phoenix wants to get the ball to KJ, but look at how he is face guarding Kevin Johnson to keep him from shaking free. That's a pretty good shot right there for Tom Chambers. Doesn't get it to go.
The ball belongs to Phoenix. And really, they should add 1/10 of a second on the clock as we look at it from another angle. Tom got a good look at it.
He did. He did.
The shot just would not go down. And we saw in that first replay, there was 0.2 of a second left when the ball went out of bounds. So now Phoenix have no timeouts remaining. Portland still has one. So they've got to get the ball in. I guess one of the things you want to do is the tip, but obviously you try to draw some type of contact and a foul.
I think you're right. I think if I'm Portland, I just maybe even if I can't get it in, just throw the ball off the leg of one of the players to get the clock to start. Just get the ball in bounds is what they have to do right now.
Rick Adelman telling his troops to be careful about that possible tip. In the other huddle, Cotton Fitzsimmons trying to figure out a way to get a ball tip, considering he has two centers sitting down, having fouled out of the ball game, and he has to go with some small lineup. Paul Westphal talking to Kevin Johnson, trying to devise a way to get a shot that takes less than 1/10 of a second. But once again, the NBA, the old Trent Tucker rule, you need at least 0.3 of a second for a shot. You can have a tip though with 1/10 left.
Oh, this is. I thought the ball was going to Portland. It's going to Phoenix.
Yeah, my bad call.
Yeah.
And now Portland calls. No delay of game warning on
Portland has no timeouts left. Phoenix has no timeouts left.
It's a delay of game warning on Portland. Here we go. The tip, it won't go down, and Portland wins game one. The final score, 113-111. Portland winning game one of the best-of-7 series. Game two will be played Thursday night, and you'll be able to see it right here on TNT. But a big game for the Portland Trailblazers as they were able to win it 113-111. Joining us is Clyde Drexler. And Clyde, first of all, that was a difficult game. You got up early in that first quarter. You had the 11-point lead. And you had to really hang on. Phoenix, a very scrappy team in late in the game.
A very scrappy team, and we anticipated a very close contest, and we got nothing less than what we anticipated in tonight's game.
Clyde, I'm wondering if you had time to shift your attentions from the Lakers to the Phoenix Suns. You had only one day between series. It has to be tough to, to start thinking Suns after thinking the Lakers.
It's definitely tough, but it's something that you have to do. I think we had less than 48 hours to prepare for the Suns, and that's a difficult task. This team has been resting at home for 5 or 6 days, and I think we came out and we played a super game.
26 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists. You had to sort of take it over there in the third quarter. You had to really take control of the ball game. Terry was having a good game, but you sort of came onto your shoulders.
No, I think it's a team effort. I think Terry's free throws down the stretch were the difference. I think I missed quite a few, and we were struggling at times. But the thing is, we just never quit. We kept the faith, and the defense is what bailed us out.
I thought the defense, I was just going to ask you about that, particularly the job Terry Porter did on Kevin Johnson down the stretch. He just could not shake Terry Porter. I thought he did a wonderful job.
Terry really became more aggressive on the defensive end, and it really paid off for us. I think that was one of the keys in tonight's game.
One final question. How important is it to win that first game of a series, Clyde?
It's awful important to get off on a good foot and just keep the confidence. I think nothing could be better. I think now we'll get a chance to settle down and concentrate more on the things that they'd like to get done, and hopefully we'll be better in game two.
All right, Clyde, thanks for stopping by right at the end of the game. Clyde Drexler of the Portland Trailblazers as Portland wins game one of this best-of-7 series. Now let's go back to Atlanta with Ernie Johnson and Kevin Lockery. Gentlemen.
All right, thank you, Ron Thulin. Tough game for Portland. Rick Adelman looking like Robert Hayes, the pilot in Airplane, sweating profusely down the stretch. It's going to be a good series here.
Ernie, coaching's a great job. It's a great way to make
Especially when you're sitting here doing it.
As I tell you. But it's a great win for Portland, but Phoenix can't be ashamed of themselves. They had a good effort. They turned the ball over a little too many times in this game to win a game on the road. But they had a chance. They had the last shot of the game. Chambers got a pretty good shot.
So the #1 seed in the West wins game 1. The #1 seed in the East, the Chicago Bulls, surprise, surprise. They open at home at Chicago Stadium, lose to the New York Knicks 94-89. Michael Jordan had 31, but the game was dominated, coached by Patrick Ewing with 34.
Ernie, perfect game by Patrick Ewing. 34 points, 16 rebounds, 6 block shots, 5 assists, and no turnovers. You can't play better than that. He dominated the middle. And when you outplay Michael Jordan in a game, you've really achieved something.
New York had lost 14 in a row to the Chicago Bulls. They snapped that streak and take the early lead in that best-of-7 Eastern Conference semifinal. The highlights of that you can see on Inside the NBA, which comes your way next on TNT. Fred Hickman, your host. Doc Rivers joins him. The story on Chuck Daly and his resignation in Detroit. And they'll preview the Sonics Jazz series, and that one gets underway here on TNT tomorrow night, 9 o'clock time. Sonics and the Jazz here on TNT. I'll be here. The coach will be here. Hope you'll be here, too. Bud Player of the Game comes your way next. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Once again, our final score, Portland wins Game 1 of the best-of-7 Western Conference semifinals, 113-111. And our Budweiser most valuable player, Terry Porter, 31 points, 7 assists, 7 rebounds. And of those, 12 of 12 from the line, 10 of 10 in that fourth quarter. Terry Porter, our Budweiser player of the game. Be sure to stay with us. NBA action continues your way tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Eastern time. Seattle against Utah. That'll be with Jim Durham and Dick Versace. And coming up next here on TNT, Inside the NBA, Fred Hickman along with his guest, Doc Rivers of the LA Clippers, all coming your way next right here on TNT. Once again, our final score, Portland wins it 113-111 despite 24 by Kevin Johnson of the Suns. For Jack Gibbons and our entire crew in Portland, Oregon, I'm Ron Thulin. Thanks for watching and good night, everybody.